Good evening and welcome to Grosse Pointe Theatre. Over the years, Grosse Pointe Theatre has created a lot of magic on our stage by way of love stories. As a matter of fact, there have been a few love stories that have happened off stage as well. Tonight, you're going to hear from several couples who have met courtesy of Grosse Pointe Theatre and a little bit about their story. Please sit back and relax as Grosse Pointe Theatre presents a love letter from Grosse Pointe Theatre.
Hi, I'm Kathy Conlon.
And I'm Sal DiMercurio.
And we met
on the set of Whose Life Is It Anyway?
In 1984.
The classic story of when Harry met Sally, where boy meets girl and boy wonders if he and the girl can ever just be friends, was brought to the stage by an adaptation by Marcy Cahan.
In the end, don't we all want to have what she's having? We now join Doug and Jenny Clark as they bring Harry Burns and Sally Albright to life.
I've been doing a lot of thinking, and the thing is, I love you.
What?
I love you.
How do you expect me to respond to this?
How about you love me too?
How about I'm leaving?
Doesn't anything that I just said mean anything to you?
What is it supposed to mean? I'm sorry, Harry, but I know it's New Year's Eve and I know you're feeling lonely, but you can't just show up here and tell me you love me and expect it to make everything all right. What am I supposed to say? Great, Harry. You love me. That settles everything. Now we can just waltz off into the sunset? I'm sorry, Harry. It doesn't work this way.
Well, then how does it work?
I don't know, but not this way.
How about this way? I love that you get cold when it's 62 degrees out. I love how the corner of your mouth turns up just a little bit right there. I love that it takes you an hour and a half to order a sandwich. I even love that you use my sweater as a Kleenex. I love that after spending the entire day with you, I can smell your perfume on my clothes. I love that you're the last person I want to talk to before I go to sleep at night. It's taken me 11 years to figure this out. And when you decide that you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to begin as soon as possible.
See, Harry, that's just like you. You say things like that and you make it impossible for me to hate you. And I hate you. I hate you, Harry. I hate you.
You know, my entire life, I've never known what that song means.
I know exactly what you mean.
I mean, should old acquaintance be forgot? Does it mean that you should forget old acquaintances, or does it mean that if you happen to forget them, that you should remember them, which is not possible because you've already forgotten them?
I think you're just supposed to remember that you forgot them. Or something. Anyway, it's about old friends.
Hi, I'm Zach Coates.
Hi, I'm Lita Chrisman.
And we met in Camelot.
In 2018.
In the Broadway 1963 musical, She Loves Me, we meet shop workers Amelia and George as they try to sort out whether they love each other or despise each other.
The confusion that leads to their courtship is the stuff of musical legend. In Vanilla Ice Cream, Amalia realizes that perhaps her animus toward George may in fact be amity. Let's welcome Kate Connolly singing Vanilla Ice Cream from She Loves Me.
Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way. But together you and I will laugh at last night someday. Ice cream, he bought me ice cream, vanilla ice cream, imagine that. Ice cream, and for the first time we were together without a spat. Friendly, he was so friendly, that isn't like him, I'm simply stunned. Will wonders ever cease? Will wonders ever cease? It's been a most peculiar day. Will wonders ever cease? Will wonders ever cease? Where was I? Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way, but together you and I will laugh at last night someday. I sat there waiting in that cafe and never guessing that you were fat. Oh, Lord, no. That you were near. You were outside looking bald. Oh, God, no. Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. Last night, I was so nasty. Well, he deserved it, but even so, that George is not like this George. It is a new George that I don't know. Somehow it all reminds me of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. For right before my eyes, a man that I despise has turned into a man I like. It's almost like a dream, and strange as it may seem, he came to offer me ice cream.
Okay. Hi, I'm Olivia Wickline,
And I'm Dennis Wickline.
and we met in 1975 in June on closing night of Carousel.
Cyrano de Bergerac by Edmond Rostand tells the story of a man who seemingly has everything: artistry, athleticism, musicality, and yet is plagued by crippling low self-esteem, preventing him from wooing the beautiful Roxanne. In this scene, instead of giving the words to Christian, Cyrano speaks to Roxanne himself, and while he remains hidden, his love burns as bright as ever. We are pleased to introduce Jude Purcell and Stephanie Stoico as they show us that a little confidence can go a long way.
Well said indeed. But why speak then in such a faltering fashion? Have you started limping with imagination?
This is getting too difficult.
Tonight, your words are hesitant. Why?
As there is no light, they weave around the shadow to find your ear.
For my words, no such difficulties appear.
They find their way at once. That goes without saying, since deep inside my heart I receive their strain. Now, I have a great heart, and you a tiny ear. Besides, the words you speak fall swiftly here. Mine climb, madam, that takes them quite a time.
Yet for a while now they've had an easier climb.
From these gymnastics they've acquired the skill.
In truth, I speak to you as if from some high hill.
True, and you kill me if from that high part you let one harsh word fall upon my heart.
Well, I'll come down.
No.
Climb on the bench then, quickly.
No.
What? No?
Wait a moment, so that we may profit from this chance we're offered, for speaking sweetly together, without seeing.
Without seeing?
Yes. It's delightful. The eye scarce distinguishes. You see the folds of a long dark cloak. I view the brightness of a summer's dress. I am but a shadow, and you the brightness. You don't know what these moments are to me. If I was ever eloquent...
You are, indeed.
Language never launched itself from my heart till now so truly.
Why?
Because till now I spoke with...
What?
A dizziness where trembles. Whatever haunts your eyes. But the night resembles a darkened stage where this first time I address you.
You've quite a different voice. Indeed, that's true.
Yes, different. For protected by the night, I dare to be myself. At last, I dare. Where was I? I don't know all this. Forgive my emotion. It's so delicious, so new, this magic potion.
So new?
Why, yes. To be so sincere, fear of being mocked always grips my heart. Here.
Mocked for what?
Why, for daring. Yes. That same heart of mine is always veiled by wit, through shame. I reach for a star, and I stop instead, for fear of ridicule, to gather a flowerlet.
Well, flowerlet is fine.
Tonight, I disdain it.
Never before have you spoken to me like this.
Ha! Like this. Far from the quivers, arrows, torches, you turn yourself towards things new and fresh. Instead of drinking fashionable waters, taken cold, drop by drop, from a pretty thimble of fine gold you find, like this, how the soul might be refreshed, drinking full from the wide river's endless depth.
But the wit?
I employed it to make you stay, at first. But to do that now would be to pay an insult to night, nature, the sense, the hour, to speak like a love letter written by Voiture. With a single glance at the stars and the celestial heavens, strip us of all this artificial. Yet I fear in our exquisite alchemy, true feeling might simply cease to be, and the soul exhaust itself in empty musing, and the ultimate be merely the end of things.
But the wit?
I hate it in love. It's a crime to prolong such fancy endlessly in time. Besides, the moment comes, an inevitable one, and I grieve for those to whom it never comes, when you feel that true love's noble love's within us, and that each fine word we speak saddens the soul.
Well, if that moment's come for us too, then what words will you give me?
All. All that comes to me I would throw towards you, wild without making garlands. I love... I'm stifled. I love you. I'm maddened. No more. I tell you your name in my heart's little bell, and as I tremble, Roxanne, all the time. So all the time the bell rings, your name's its echo. I remember all about you. Love all of it. I say, I know one day, going out that morning in the 12th of May, you altered your hair. I'm so used to taking it for daylight, like the glare you find when you stare too long at the sun, seeing a red disk everywhere when it's gone, that when I quit the floods that surround me, I saw a stain of dazzling gold closed all around me.
Yes, that's love, it's true.
This feeling, it fills me, that's terrible and jealous, is truly that of love. He always had a melancholy fury of love, and yet he's still not selfish, purely. How I give my happiness for yours, though, even though you yourself might never know if sometime perhaps far off I might delight in the happy laughter born of my sacrifice. Each look of yours excites a new virtue, a new courage in me. Now at last you begin to see. For you yourself, do you allow? Can you feel my soul all rise through the shadows? This night's too beautiful, too sweet. I standing here saying this to you, you listening, you to me. It's too sweet. Even in my dreams least humble, I never hoped for such. There's nothing else to do but die now. It's through words alone I know that I say. You tremble through the blue branches, though. For you do tremble, like a leaf among the leaves. For you do tremble. I can feel your hands at all trembling as it plays down the whole net of the jasmine sprays.
Yes, I tremble, and I weep, and I love, and I am yours. You've intoxicated me.
That does come. This intoxication, it's I who've created it.
Hi, I'm Don Ross.
And I'm John Leshner. We met in 1976 during the Sunshine Boys.
We've all imagined what our ideal love might be like. Sometimes it's a sweeping romance full of passion and adventure, but sometimes it's a little more mundane. In The Little Shop of Horrors, which debuted off-Broadway in 1982, Audrey sings about her dream life and love. Here, Austin Selke brings Audrey's daydreaming to life in Somewhere That's Green.
I know Seymour's the greatest, but I'm dating a semi-sweetest. So I got a black eye and my arms in a cast. Still, that Seymour's a cutie. Well, if not, he's got inner beauty. And I dream of a place where we can be together at last. A matchbox of our own, a fence of real chain link, a grill out on the patio, disposal in the sink, a washer and a dryer, and an ironing machine in the tract house that we share. Somewhere that's green. He rakes and trims the grass. He loves to mow and weed. I cook like Betty Crocker, and I look like Donna Reed. There's plastic on the furniture to keep it neat and clean. In the pine sol scented air, somewhere that's green. Between our frozen dinners and our bedtime 9:15, we snuggle watching Lucy on our big, enormous 12-inch screen. Oh, I father, he knows best. Our kids watch Howdy Doody as the sun sets in the west. A picture out of Better Homes and Gardens magazine. Far from Skid Row, I dream we'll go somewhere that's
Hi, I'm Bob Montgomery.
And I'm Pam Montgomery.
We met in 1983.
In On a Clear Day, You Can See Forever, my very first show with Grosse Pointe Theatre. Young love is an exciting and volatile mix. In Barefoot in the Park, we meet Corey and Paul, 6 days into their marriage, moving into a new apartment, learning how to live together, navigating their new love, and figuring out how to keep the heat on.
We're proud to introduce Kyle and Hosanna Phillips in Barefoot in the Park by Neil Simon.
Corey? Where are you?
Up here, hon. Top floor. Oh my goodness, the phone. Hello? Yes? Oh, yes, he is. I mean, he's on his way up. Can you hold on for 2 more floors? Paul! Hurry up, darling.
Okay.
Hello. He'll be with you in 1 more flight. Thank you. Now, honey, don't expect too much. The furniture didn't arrive yet, and the paint didn't come out exactly right, but I think it's going to be beautiful. Paul? Paul, are you all right?
I'm coming.
He's coming. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, Paul, darling. Well, say something.
It's 6 flights. Did you know it's 6 flights?
It's not, it's 5.
What about the big thing hanging outside the building?
That's not a flight, it's a stoop.
It might look like a stoop, but it climbs like a flight.
Is that all you have to say?
I didn't think I'd get that much out. It didn't seem like 6 flights when I first saw the apartment. Why is that?
You didn't see the apartment, don't you remember? The woman wasn't home. You saw the 3rd floor apartment.
Then that's why.
You don't like it. Well, you really don't like it.
I do like it. I'm just waiting for my eyes to clear first.
I expected you to walk in here and say, wow.
Okay. I will. Wow.
Oh, Paul, it'll be beautiful. I promise you. You just came home too soon.
You know, I missed you.
Did you really?
Right in the middle of the Monday morning conference, I began to feel sexy.
That's marvelous. Oh boy, let's take a cab back to the plaza. We still have an hour before checkout time.
We can't. We took a towel and 2 ashtrays. We're hot.
My gosh, you still love me.
After 6 nights at the plaza? What's the trick?
But that was a honeymoon. Now we're on a regular schedule. I thought you'd come home tonight and we'd shake hands and start the marriage.
How do you do?
My turn to say wow. For a lawyer, you're some good kisser.
For a kisser? I'm some good lawyer.
What's that mean? Something's happened? Something wonderful? Oh, for Pete's sake,
It's not positive yet. The office is supposed to call and let me know in 5 minutes.
Oh, they called.
What?
I mean, they're calling?
When?
Now. They're on the phone now.
Where?
There.
Why didn't you tell me?
I forgot. You kissed me and got me all crazy.
Frank? Yeah, listen, what's it? Oh, very funny. For a lawyer, I'm some good kisser. Come on, come. Tell me. Well? You're kidding! Oh, Frank, baby, I love you! What do you mean nervous? I passed the bar, didn't I? Yeah. I'll go over the briefs tonight. Yep. I'll meet you in Schraff's at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll go over everything and... Hey, what kind of tie do I wear? I don't know. I was kind of maybe thinking something flowing like Oliver Wendell Holmes. Yeah. Did you hear? Did you hear?
What about tonight?
I have to be in court tomorrow. I've got my first case.
What about tonight?
I'll have to go over all of the paperwork. Marshall had everything laid out at the office, and he has to be in Washington tomorrow. He wants me to take over. With Frank. But it'll be my case. Oh, Corey, baby, I'm going to be a lawyer.
That's wonderful. I just thought we were going to spend tonight together.
Spend tomorrow together. I brought those affidavits.
I brought a black nightgown.
Marshall had everything laid out at the office. It looks simple enough. The furrier is suing a woman for non-payment of bills.
I was going to cook you spaghetti with the white clam sauce in a bikini.
We're representing the furrier. He made 4 specially tailored coats for a woman on Park Avenue. Now she doesn't want the coats.
Then I found this great thing on 8th Street. It's a crossword puzzle with dirty words.
The furrier can't get rid of the coats. The one was only 4'8". You'd have to sell them to a rich little girl.
Then I was going to put on a record and do an authentic Cambodian fertility dance.
The only trouble is he didn't have a signed contract. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get you all hot and bothered, and you're summing up for the jury. The whole marriage is over.
Corey, honey, I'm sorry. I guess I got a little excited. You want me to be rich and famous, don't you?
During the day. At night, I want you to be here and sexy.
I will, just as soon as Birnbaum vs. Gump is over. Tell you what, tomorrow night is your night. We'll do whatever you want.
Something wild, insane, and crazy?
I promise.
Like what?
Well, I'll come home early and we'll wallpaper each other.
Oh, Paul, how wonderful! Can't we do it tonight?
No, we can't do it tonight because tonight I have to work. Except, where do I sit?
Furniture will be here by 5, they promised.
5? It's 5:30. What do we do, sleep in Bloomingdale's tonight?
They'll be here, Paul. They're probably stuck in traffic.
What about tonight? I have to be in court tomorrow morning. Maybe we should check into a hotel.
We just checked out of a hotel. I don't care if the furniture doesn't come. I'm sleeping in my apartment tonight.
Where? Where? There's only room for 1 in the bathtub. Where's the bathtub?
There is no bathtub.
No bathtub?
There's a shower.
How am I going to take a bath?
You won't take a bath. You'll take a shower.
I don't like showers. I like baths. Corey, how am I going to take a bath?
You'll lie down in the shower and hang your feet over the sink. I'm sorry there's no bathtub, Paul.
Oh, boy, of all the nights. It's freezing in here. Isn't there any heat?
Of course there's heat. We have a radiator.
The radiator's the coldest thing in the room.
Probably the boiler. It's probably off in the whole building.
No, it was warm coming up the stairs. See? It's nice and warm
Maybe it's because the apartment is empty?
The hall is empty too, but it's warm out here.
It'll be all right once I get a fire going.
Fire? You have to keep the flame going night and day. I'll call the landlord.
Oh, he's not home.
Where is he?
In Florida. There's a handyman that comes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
You mean we freeze on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays?
He'll be here in the morning.
What do we do tonight? I have a case in court in the morning.
Will you stop saying it like you always have a case in court in the morning? This is your first one.
Well, what'll we do?
The furniture will be here. In the meantime, I can light the stove and you can sit over the fire with your law books and a shawl like Abraham Lincoln.
Is that supposed to be funny?
No, it was supposed to be nasty. Just came out funny. What are you doing?
Checking to see if the windows are closed.
They're closed. I looked.
And why is it windy in here?
I don't feel a draft.
I didn't say a draft, I said wind. There's a brisk northeasterly wind blowing in this room.
You don't have to get sarcastic.
I'm not getting sarcastic, I'm getting chapped lips.
How could there be wind in a closed room?
How's this for an answer? There's a hole in the skylight.
Gee, I didn't see that before, did you?
I didn't see the apartment before!
Right, Paul, don't get upset. I'm sure it'll be fixed. We could plug it up with something for tonight.
How? How? That's 20 feet high! We'd have to fly over the plane and drop something in.
It's just for one night. And it's not that cold.
In February? Do you know what it's like at 3 o'clock in the morning? In February? Ice cold freezing!
It's not going to be freezing. I called the Weather Bureau. It's going to be cloudy with a light.
What? What? A light what?
Snow.
Snow? It's going to snow tonight? In here?
They're wrong as often as they're right.
I'm going to be shoveling snow in my own living room.
It's a little hole.
With a wind like that, it could blow 6-foot drifts into the bathroom. Honestly, Corey, I don't see how you can be so calm about all of this.
Well, what is it you want me to do?
Go to pieces, like me! It's only natural.
I've got a better idea. I'll keep you warm. And there's no charge for electricity.
See, I haven't got much of a law career ahead of me.
Good. I hope we starve, and they find us up here dead in each other's arms.
Frozen skinny lovers found on 48th Street.
Are we in love again?
We're in love again.
Hi, I'm Tim Reinman,
And I'm Marie Boyle-Reinman.
and we met in the 1993 production of Damn Yankees.
From the 1996 off-Broadway show Rent, I'll Cover You speaks to the enduring protections that love can provide, like a house where we can feel safe and protected. In this song, Angel and Collins celebrate how they will protect, support, and love each other.
Tim Higgins and Scott Davis celebrate their love and the protections and comforts that they give each other in I'll Cover You.
Live in my house, I'll be your shelter. Just pay me back with 1,000 kisses. Be my lover, and I'll cover you.
Open your door, I'll be your tenant. Don't got much baggage to lay at your feet, but sweet kisses I've got to spare. I'll be there and I'll cover you. I think they meant it when they said you can't buy love. Now I know you can rent it. A new lease, you are my love. Online, be my love.
blanket. Wherever, whatever, I'll be your coat. You'll be my king and I'll be your castle.
No, you'll be my queen and I'll be your moat.
I think they meant it when they said you can't buy love. Now I know you can rent it. A new lease, you are my love. On life, all my life, I've longed to discover something as true as this is.
So with 1,000 sweet kisses,
If you're cold and you're
I'll cover
lonely,
you with 1,000 sweet kisses.
you got one nickel
I'll cover
only
you
with 1,000 sweet kisses.
when you're worn out
I'll
and
cover
tired.
you with 1,000 sweet kisses.
When your heart has
I'll cover
expired.
you.
Oh, lover, I'll cover you. Oh, lover, I'll cover you.
I'm Janie.
And I'm Harry.
And we are
the Berkeys. Love is often messy. Sometimes a divorced man falls in love with the wife of his best friend and has to take advice from the ghost of Humphrey Bogart.
In Play It Again, Sam by Woody Allen, Jeff Smythe, Kevin Fitzhenry, and Kate Conley show us what happens when a love triangle meets up with classic Hollywood.
Not with my luck. You know, I feel so light. The drink went right to my head. I feel like I'm floating.
Now go ahead and kiss her.
I can't.
She's ready.
How do you know?
Believe me, I know.
She'll pull back. I can feel it.
She's sitting and waiting. She's ready.
Okay. But I'm gonna go slow. If she screams, I'll just pretend it was a joke.
Hurry.
She better laugh. Oh, jeez. Hello? Dick! Hi! Yes, she's here. Well, no. You see, I was gonna go out. I had a Polish date, and but then she came over, and we were just gonna have dinner together. Just two really good friends having dinner together. Oh, are you calling from Cleveland? Well, this call is costing you money, isn't it? Yeah, sure, yeah. Hang on one second.
Are you upset over anything?
Yeah, no, the phone just startled me. That's all. Look, what am I doing? I'm going to cause an international incident. I want her out of here right now.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. Look, she loves him. Who am I kidding myself?
Look, would you relax? You're more nervous than Elizabeth Scott was before I blew her brains out. Now all you gotta do is make your move and you're home free.
Okay. Goodbye. I will. Dick sounded a little down. I think he's having some trouble in Cleveland.
Yeah? Now, how come he never takes you with him on those out-of-town trips?
I'm afraid to fly. My analyst thinks that's an excuse. He never asks me along, though. Who knows? Maybe he's got something going on the side.
Yeah, would that bother you?
Sure, but, well, not if I didn't know.
I think Dick would be very upset if you had a little casual affair on the side.
I don't think I could have a casual affair.
No?
I don't take those things too lightly. If I ever fell for another man, it'd have to be because there was something more than a little fling. I'd have to feel something more serious. In which case, my marriage would be in question. Are you shaking?
No, I'm just chilly in here.
It's not very cold. I'm not the type, though. And honestly, I don't think I could take the excitement involved, and I'm not glamorous enough.
Are you kidding? You're uncommonly beautiful.
Anytime I see you go out with all of those beautiful young girls, I just feel like life has passed me by. I should just sell chocolates at Fannie Farmer.
Oh, come on, those other girls aren't even in your league.
Keep talking. You're saving my life. I have such an inferiority complex.
Hey, you're handling yourself very well. Now kiss her.
Please.
You built it up beautifully.
Look, I don't have the nerve.
Tell her how beautiful she is again.
I just told her that.
Again!
You know, you really are a very beautiful person.
I don't know what to say to that.
No, really, really, very beautiful. Uncommonly beautiful. Very uncharacteristically uncommonly
All right
beautiful.
already.
So beautiful.
It's been a long time since anyone said that to me.
Now move closer to her.
How close?
The length of your lips.
That's very close.
Come on, move.
Now what?
Now tell her that she moves something in you that you can't control.
You're kidding.
Go ahead.
Look, for me it sounds corny.
She'll love it.
Look, it's like Fred Astaire looks good in tails. Me, I look ridiculous. It's the exact same kind of thing.
Leave Fred Astaire out of this. Now go ahead.
You know, I love the time that we've spent together.
So have I.
Look, was that all right? I didn't want to use your line about moving something.
You're doing fine, kid. Now tell her she has the most irresistible eyes you've ever seen.
Eyes. You know, you have the most eyes that I've ever seen on any one person.
Your hand is trembling.
Is it?
That's because you're near.
Well, pardon me?
Tell her that.
That's because you're near.
You always know what to say, don't you?
Now tell her you've met a lot of dames, but that she's really something special.
Now that she won't believe.
No?
You know, I have met a lot of dames, but you are really, really something special.
Really?
She bought it.
Now put your hand on her shoulder and draw her near.
Like, I can't, I'm scared.
Go ahead. This is your final move.
Well, I better fix the steaks.
No, wait, Linda, your eyes are like two big, thick-cut steaks.
I'll pay for the lamb.
Look, don't worry about it. I think I love you.
Oh, I insist on paying for the lamb.
Look, don't worry about the lamp, okay?
Oh,
It's not
I'm
important.
so clumsy. Will you at least accept $10?
Look, don't worry about the lamp, okay? Look, just give me $5 and we'll call it square,
Alan,
okay?
don't.
No. What did I do? I attacked her. I'm a vicious jungle beast. Now she'll go and tell Dick and then by the time she gets home, she'll probably be hysterical. And she'll probably call the cops. They're probably already on their way here now. I mean, who am I kidding myself? What am I doing to Dick? I'm not Bogart. I'm never going to be Bogart. I'm a disgrace to my sex. I should wind up in an Arabian palace working as a eunuch.
Did you say you loved me?
Play it again, Sam.
You must remember this. A kiss is just a kiss. A sigh.
Hi, my name's David Roberts.
And I'm Allison Roberts.
And we met in the 2016 production of Chess. In his 1986 musical, The Phantom of the Opera, Andrew Lloyd Webber created a haunting story of undying, unrequited love.
The music of the night is the Phantom's desperate attempt to convince Christine to love him as much as he loves her. For all those hopeless yearnings toward love, here is Betsy Steiner singing Music of the Night.
Nighttime sharpens, heightens each sensation, darkness stirs and wakes imagination. Silently the senses abandon their defenses, helpless to resist the notes I write. For I compose the music of the night. Slowly, gently, night unfurls its splendor. Grasp it, sense it, tremulous and tender. Turn your face away from the garish to the music of the night. Close your eyes and surrender to your darkest dreams. Purge your thoughts of the life you knew before. Close your eyes, let your spirit start to soar. And you'll live as you never lived before. Softly, deftly, music shall caress you. Hear it, feel it, secretly possess you. Open up your mind, let your fantasies unwind in this darkness which you know you cannot fight. The darkness of the music of the night. Let your mind start a journey through a strange new world. Leave all thoughts of the life you knew before. Let your soul take you where you long to be. Only then can you belong to me. Floating, falling, sweet intoxication. Trust me, touch me, savor each sensation. Let the dream begin. Let your darker side give in to the power of the music that I write. For I compose the music of the night. You alone can make my song take flight. Help me make the music of the night.
I'm Dale Pegg,
I'm Diane Pegg.
and we met on The Importance of Being Earnest in 1979.
In this short scene by Joseph Arnone, Marla teaches Jane about the secret of a long, happy marriage, training your husband. Here we see the commonalities of marriage that bridge the age divide. GPT is proud to present Common Practice with Olivia Wickline and Mary Reinman.
I admire you. I really do. How you and your husband have been together for so long. I can only hope the same can be for me.
It's an art form.
How so?
You don't know the half of it, child. I have my husband wrapped around my thumb. Don't act so shocked. It's natural.
I'm not sure I understand.
Do you really want to know?
Sure.
Do you really want to know why Paul is the way he is?
Okay.
He's been trained. Paul was never the same he is now when I first met him. When I first met him, he was full of fire and chic. Always had a buzz about him. But over time, I calmed him down and I positioned him to my specifications. Can I tell you a secret?
Please.
It's a sadistic secret. I kind of like giving him a hard time.
How so?
There's just something about it. The way he gets when I push his buttons. I get into it.
Into it?
Yeah, it kind of gives me a ride. I'm thrilled to see him get all hot under the collar.
You're cruel.
I know I am. Never said I wasn't, but the truth is the truth. Point of fact is that I just love getting him mad. I can't help myself. A girl's got to entertain herself or else the marriage falls apart. How do you possibly think I've actually put up with Paul for so long?
So is that the trick? You find private ways of entertaining yourself?
Yeah, it works for me. Cruelty is a guilty pleasure. Now, I'm not talking nothing more than seeing him get, well, I kind of love it when he takes a certain tone with me.
Yeah?
Yeah, he gets this tone in his voice when I've reached his line. Like, all right, Marla, that's enough. It drives me wild.
You're too funny.
There are times when I must say I play his fiddle like a master conductor. I get him to hit all my notes. It's a gift. Even I don't know how I do it.
Well, how do you do it? Tell me.
It's a mood. I have to be in the right mood. And the timing has to be right. So if I'm in the mood to be a little devil, which is my usual state of self, and I see he's having a better day than usual, I strike. I sink my dirty little claws into his large back and I chew down. I don't stop nibbling till I hear him say, ouch.
I admire you. I wish I could do that with Tom. Tom is just so aware. He's so aware of all of my moods.
You've got to work around it. I'm telling you. If you don't start playing notes now, I give you 2, maybe 5 more years at best.
Oh, really? No. Please don't say that.
It's true, dear.
Well, there are other things that make us happy. I mean, we're not unhappy.
Give it time. True misery takes time to seep in and drown you.
What do I do?
Sweetie pie, you need to interject.
Interject?
Absolutely. When he comes home from work and he goes on about his long day, interject.
Just cut him off?
Mid-sentence. Don't give him no fuss about it. Just do it as if it's normal.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'll show you. Say something, anything.
Okay. Well, I really am listening to you because I really just want...
And that's so good, darling. Want some potatoes? You see, just like that.
Wow. Can I try?
Yeah. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
So the other day I bumped into Florence and she was telling me all the details.
Oh, do you want to go to the theater this Friday?
That was good.
Yeah?
That was pretty damn good. Start on him immediately. Now, once you got this whole interjecting thing down, it will become common. At first, he'll get annoyed. He maybe even want to argue with you. But you must be coy, pleasant, polite, and smart. You wear him down, and eventually it'll become more common practice. That's when you finally have your hold over him.
Marla, I really had no idea this sort of thing in marriage even existed.
You want to keep your man or not?
Oh, I do. Believe me, I do.
Then believe what I'm telling you. I've seen too many breakups with no makeups and families destroyed, all because the woman wasn't wise enough to manage her husband effectively.
I'm amazed. And I must say this to you, Marla. I don't know what I would do without you. You're truly like a big sister to me, and I'm so thankful that we moved into this development and I have you as my neighbor. Talk about luck.
Now, there. It's fate. And the good news is that if you learn to play the fiddle now, you will have a marriage that will withstand time. That's how you win. Get this first bit down, and then I will help you mold them further. And believe me, you will be all set.
Well, I'll try it. And see ya.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Tony Amato.
And I'm Terry Turpin Amato, and we met in 1982.
In Funny Girl.
In the 1964 Broadway show Funny Girl, we meet vaudeville star Fanny Brice. Brice reflects on her life as a Ziegfeld girl at the turn of the 20th century and of her love of her husband, Nick Arnstein.
The classic song People speaks to the universal truth that when it all comes down to it, it's all about people needing people. Here's Annie Cordes singing People from Funny Girl.
We hope you enjoyed our program tonight, A Love Letter from Grosse Pointe Theatre. As we close our evening off, please enjoy this song by Jason Robert Brown, The Stars and the Moon, and know that you should never let love pass you by.
Had no traits of any value but his smile. And I met a man who had no yearn or claim for fame, who was content to let life pass him for a while. And I was sure that all I ever wanted was a life like the movie stars led. But he kissed me right here, and he said, I'll give you stars and the moon and a soul to guide you, and I promise I'll never go. I'll give you hope to bring out all the life inside you, and a strength that'll help you grow. I'll give you truth and a future that's 20 times better than any Hollywood plot. And I thought, you know, I'd rather have a yacht. I met a man who lived his life out on the road, who left a wife and kids in Portland on a whim. And I met a man whose fire and passion always showed, who asked if I could spare a week to ride with him. And I was sure that all I ever wanted was a life that was scripted and planned. And he said, well, you don't understand. I'll give you stars and the moon and the open highway and a river beneath your feet. I'll give you days full of dreams if you travel my way, and a summer you can't repeat. I'll give you nights full of passion and days of adventure, no strings, just warm summer rain. And I thought, you know, I'd rather have champagne. I met a man who had a fortune in the bank, who had retired at age 30, set for life. And I met a man and didn't know which stars to thank, and then he asked one day if I would be his wife. And I looked up, and all that I could think of was the life I had dreamt I would live. And I said to him, what will you give? I'll give you cars and a townhouse in Turtle Bay and fur and a diamond ring. And you'll be married in Spain on my yacht today, and we'll honeymoon in Beijing. And you'll meet stars at the parties I throw in my villas in Nice and Paris and June. And I thought, okay. And I took a breath, and I got my yacht. And the years went by, and we never changed, and we never grew, and I never dreamed. And I woke one day, and I looked around, and I thought, my God, I'll never have the moon.
I want you guys to tell me how you met.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you filming now? Oh, okay. we were cast in a show together, and the show, as we said, is Whose Life Is It Anyway? And I was playing a quadriplegic who wanted the right to take her own life, and
I was playing her psychiatrist who wanted to know why she wanted to take her life.
But then, there I was in a bed, unable to move through the whole show. And I got to look at him and think, he's really cute. I really like him. He's really nice. And
it all took off from there.
Yeah. And then, a year and a half later, Sal made the most romantic proposal to me. He said,
I took out my wallet and I took out my medical card, and I said to Kathy in her kitchen, would you share my Blue Cross and Blue Shield card with me for the rest of your life?
and who could resist a proposal like that? And I said, yes, yes, sign me up.
And she ran around the house like a crazy person.
Stop.
And that's how it went down.
Asking everyone.
Oh yeah, questions and stuff.
Yeah, tell us the story of how you met.
Do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was directing Camelot, and he auditioned and got cast as the lead.
Yes.
And it was a very social show. We all spent a lot of time together after rehearsal, having dinner, grabbing drinks, continuing to work on scenes at wherever we were at. But it wasn't really relationshipy. It was just a very collaborative, we're all friends, everybody's hanging out. And then after strike for the show, this was your fault.
Yeah, I mean, I was like still really emotionally broken up because it was a rather big show, you know, being King Arthur out there and producing this amazing thing. And I was like, hey, do you want to go play pinball? And we went off and played pinball and then had several drinks.
And we're talking for 9.5 hours.
Yeah, that was
nonstop.
That was a pretty long time because
yeah.
strike was pretty early in the day.
Yeah,
lots of decompression, you know.
It was
but
great.
It was great, and
just kind of haven't stopped.
2 years later, now here we are.
Almost.
Yeah,
we
almost
haven't
2.5.
stopped talking since.
No.
No, he's not.
You were spot on.
I used to do Blue Cross shit like
I
this.
know.
Yeah, and once in a while I'd hear his voice. I'd be looking away from the TV and I'd hear a PBS or a PBS.
Like a PSA.
A PSA
yeah.
come on, and I'd go, "Oh, I know that voice." And it was him.
It was him.
Okay, so then our next question is, tell us the story of how you met.
Okay. Are you recording? Okay, go ahead, dear.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was closing night of Carousel, and we were backstage. I was working props and set dressing. He was working sound. So I walk out the door to go into the little where the stairwell was, or the staircase, and he's standing there. So I just looked at him and I said, "Well, you look mighty fine there, Mr. Wickline." And he just looked at me like, "Well, you look pretty good too." Well, I was wearing a sweatshirt and he was wearing a stunning leisure suit.
And that night we talked and we danced at the cast party. And my friend Dale told me later on that I needed to get a date for the awards banquet. And so, well, I thought, why not ask her out for a date before I ask her to the awards banquet? So I asked her out to see Jaws. That was our first date, and I beat the hell out of her.
Yeah, let me explain that. He was sitting next to me, and I had my arm on the armrest of the seat. And there's a scene in Jaws where this sailor's head or face comes through a hole in the bottom of the boat. Well, that scared us to death. Well, the face came through the hole in the bottom of the boat, and he went, "Ah!" and hit me in the arm. But the guy, and I couldn't go anywhere because the guy in front of me, who had this, my God, gigantic barrel of popcorn, went, "Ah!" And so I'm sitting there, and I'm covered in popcorn. I can't move my arm because he just beat the heck out of it. And that was our first date. Yeah, that was quite exciting.
We went to the awards banquet in July of '75, and I guess the rest is history.
Do you want to start this how we met thing more specifically?
Yeah, I will.
All right, I'll just jump in a bit.
Okay.
All right.
How did you meet?
So I was cast as the patient in the Sunshine Boys, and Don was doing makeup. He was assigned to me for the show. So we met during Tech Week, and by the end of the performance and cast party, we'd become friends and found out we had mutual interests, common interests, and it's been a great 45 years since then.
Wow. I didn't know that.
We've had some great times working together on shows, either in or backstage. We've won several clearances together and separately. But Grosse Pointe Theatre has been our life, at least my life, for the last 45 years.
And that really is the whole story, except what John didn't realize. As I was doing his makeup every night for Tech and then the 2 weeks of the run, I thought John was very nice, so I just took a little longer with the makeup every night. And like John said, we just had mutual interests. We had the same sense of humor, and that is it. Oh, yeah. Now we want to hear a little more about your backstory.
I want to know how you met. Tell us the story. So, you start.
Me start. Okay, so I had just moved to Grosse Pointe and really didn't know very many people in the area, and I saw an ad to audition for Grosse Pointe Theatre for On a Clear Day You Can See Forever. So I auditioned, and
got cast.
And got cast. And
I was co-chairing lights.
Right.
And I think there was an inkling that we knew each other, but we couldn't really remember.
A little recognition, but
And it
not
turns
much.
out that we met casually in college and didn't care. So we were dating other people at the time.
Now
when we were doing the show.
During Clear Day. Yeah.
And so we turned out
We just got to be good friends.
to build a great friendship.
And we wound up doing another show together, South Pacific, that following
South
spring.
Pacific, Pirates of Penzance,
Yep.
Cats Workshop.
And then I think the next
Chorus Line.
year was Chorus Line.
Yep.
Yep. And we got engaged pretty
December of '85.
right after Chorus Line.
After Chorus
Yep.
Line, and married in November of '86. And the rest, they say, is history.
And I mean, I know you just want little couple minutes.
that's
Was
perfect.
that
No,
enough?
that's
You know, if you're
perfect.
like, oh.
All right, how did you guys meet?
So I was coming off doing a show on the road, and
Professionally.
yeah. And the
That was
Grosse
it.
Pointe Theatre was doing Damn
Damn
Yankees.
I was doing shows on the other side of town, Birmingham Village Players, and somebody said they're doing a musical, hey, good, about baseball. Oh, come on. I had to come over here and audition.
So I got called to help out in the costume room. So I came over and I was in the costume room. It was during a rehearsal, and they sent me down to grab something off the boardroom table. And when I hit the bottom of the stairs coming down from the rehearsal space, we literally almost collided in the door.
We can point the almost exact stare
Yeah.
right over here. where
And it was kind of like, if any of you remember the Monkees, remember when Davy Jones used to meet a girl that he was particularly enamored with? He'd get that little kind of twinkly thing in his eyes.
Starry eyes.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I felt.
That's what it was.
So when the show was running, I went to my dear friend Diane Pegg, who was manning the stage manager booth, stage left, and I looked on the stage at Tim and I went, "Get your dress." And she went, "Get your dress?" And I went, "For the wedding. I'm going to marry that guy."
I had no clue.
But he did.
But I said yes. Yeah. I asked her.
And I said yes.
And she said yes. But yeah, she introduced me to a couple couples here within the group. I remember meeting the Montgomerys, and I had no idea who they were. And it was Pam Montgomery who was like, "Oh, hi, you're Tim. I'm so glad we're going to see you for dinner." I'm like, "And you, yeah, you are who, what now?" Because she wanted to get me out of the single bachelorhood, an idea that it might be good to have
Meet some married friends.
Meet some married friends.
Although our paths had crossed years before doing shows for Wickline Productions, it wasn't until 1993, when I cast him in No Sex Please We're British, that we got together.
Yeah, she cast me all right. She cast a spell on me. I know that for a fact because at our first read-through, I was sitting there staring at her. I became mesmerized by her beauty, and I forgot a line with the script right in front of me.
It wasn't much longer before he asked me to dinner, and we started dating. But I realized how smitten he was when he would get up bright and early on a cold winter morning, come over to my house, shovel the driveway before he headed off to school.
After a 3-year compatibility test, she passed. So I asked her if she'd like to go to Las Vegas and get married. Sadly for her, she's been stuck with me for over 25 years now. Love you, honey.
All right, so tell me how you met.
So, I was in a show called Grand Night for Singing in 2012, and I remember one night I'm singing all of my songs, and there is just like this group of women in the front row making just like basically catcalling me all night, and I just remember seeing this woman there and just going like, wow, she's like really gorgeous, and I didn't realize this, but it was.
Yeah, so the first time I ever saw him, I remember, was on stage and I was being a big asshole. So, and then pretty soon after that, I was in the Rent workshop and I was playing Mimi. And
So I was sitting in the audience, vaguely putting two and two together that the woman on stage playing Mimi was the woman who I had met like a few weeks prior at the show, and I remember thinking that not only was she like really beautiful and also really talented, and just really sort of admiring her, but then she caught her hair on fire, and that's what I remembered her by at that point, was Mimi who caught her hair on fire. It's wonderful.
Yeah. And then a few years later,
Yep, like 4 years later, yeah.
we met again in chess,
Mhm.
and that was always a really cool time. And then the next show, we were cast as romantic leads, opposites in Hello, Dolly. And Teresa Chauvalgio has always taken credit to getting us together, because months later we were engaged.
Yeah. It is rather fitting that we ended up getting married after doing a show which is about a matchmaker. So it was a pretty good time.
Yeah. So Grosse Pointe Theatre is kind of near and dear to our hearts,
Yes.
and we consider it home.
All right, here we go.
Did we start at the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you guys meet?
We had both been members of Grosse Pointe Theatre, but we kind of traveled in different paths. Dale was kind of a sound guy, and I was in the makeup room all the time. And Gwen asked me to do sound on the importance of being earnest. And I thought, well, okay, now what do I do? So I went to the man I knew who did sound, Dale, and I said, will you help me do this sound cue? So we ended up stacking up piles of luggage in his basement, knocking them down, and he was taping them so I could have a sound cue. And after that, I don't know, we kind of nudged each other here and there, and he happened to give me my award for Worker of the Year one year. And that was kind of cool, getting an award from him. And then it was like, gosh, he's kind of cool. He's kind of interesting. I want to get to know this guy better.
Uh-oh.
So I thought, well, who can I go to? Could figure out what to do. So I went to my buddy, Olivia Wickline, and I said, Olivia, I really like this guy, but he's not even noticing me. What should I do? And she said, and his initials are Dale Peg. And I went, how did you know? And she said, I don't know, it just came to me. So she said, Diane, you're a great cook. Why don't you have him over for dinner? So I had him over for dinner, and the rest is history.
But you had the Wicklines come along.
Oh,
too.
yes, I
So
had the
there'd
Wicklines
be
come along
two
too.
couples. And I thought I was the fourth, just to fill in around the table. Little did I know the 2x4 was in the corner.
Okay. And so then the other question that we're asking all of our introducers, I guess is the right word. How did you meet? Tell us the story.
Well, we met in '82 at the old rehearsal site before this building was here. It was on 8 Mile and Mac, and it was upstairs, and everything was up there, the costume room, everything, and we got cast in the chorus of Funny Girl, and Arlene was the choreographer, and she cast us together as dance partners. We were dance partners in every one of the songs.
Yep.
And we both like had sweaty palms.
And that's why we like dancing with each other.
Dancing with each other because
we both
it was
had sweaty
okay
palms,
when we
and
had,
it was okay.
had us holding
You weren't
hands
embarrassed.
that we had sweaty palms. Yeah. Yeah, and I talked a lot about baseball, and she didn't.
And
like
I thought he was a big bore, just to tell you.
Yeah.
Who knew?
That was it. That's how we met.